Shirley J. Johnson, February 17th, 2025. On this clip coming up, Donald Trump asked Elon Musk to talk about how Doge uncovered $30 million that some woman illegally obtained. But instead, Elon started talking about $10 million that someone mysteriously received while holding an official position. And when Elon said, "We're curious to know where it came from," Donald Trump nervously bit his lip because he knew that Elon was hinting at him.
Also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million,
right,
etc.?
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened to USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy, and we don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it.
Now listen to this next clip. It's about 5 minutes long, and this could very well be from where this mysterious $10 million came and to whom it went.
I cannot improve on the opening lines of this. I'm just going to give it to you verbatim. Ready? Quote, 5 days before Donald Trump became president in January 2017, a manager at a bank branch in Cairo, Egypt, received an unusual letter from an organization linked to the Egyptian intelligence service. The letter asked the bank to, quote, kindly withdraw nearly $10 million from the organization's account. Withdraw it all in cash, as in green bills. Quote, inside the state-run National Bank of Egypt, employees were soon busy placing bundles of $100 bills into 2 large bags. 4 men arrived and carried away the bags, which weighed a combined 200 pounds. The bags contained what was then a sizable share of Egypt's entire reserve of American currency. But when those 4 men came and carried away those hundreds of pounds of cash, bundles of $100 bills, where did the cash go? What could Egypt's intelligence service possibly need with 200 pounds of $100 bills? Well, FBI agents in the United States thought that cash might have gone to Donald Trump. Explosive reporting from Aaron Davis and Carol Leonnig at the Washington Post on Friday revealed a years-long criminal investigation into whether Egypt illegally funneled $10 million in cash to Donald Trump for his 2016 campaign. 2 years into Trump's presidency, federal investigators in the United States had come to know the following things. First, classified U.S. intelligence had indicated that Egypt's president at least wanted to give Trump $10 million to boost his presidential campaign in 2016. Also, in September 2016, just before the election, candidate Trump did have a very chummy meeting with Egypt's president in New York, after which Trump praised him as a, quote, fantastic guy. A few weeks after that meeting, just before the election, look at this time on this, October 28th, just before the 2016 election, Trump miraculously produced $10 million of his own money to dump into his campaign, which at the time was quite strapped for cash. That $10 million infusion, though, wasn't a gift from Trump to his campaign. It was structured as a loan, so Trump would get the money back. Trump, just a few days later, won the election, and then just a few days after that, or a few days before his inauguration, there was that unexplained cash withdrawal of American dollars by the Egyptian intelligence service from a Cairo bank, $10 million, the same amount that Egypt's president had reportedly wanted to give Trump, according to U.S. intelligence, the same amount that Trump had miraculously found to loan to his own campaign. Egypt's president then inexplicably became one of Trump's first guests at the White House as president. Trump later released over $1 billion in military aid for Egypt. Trump at one point even called the Egyptian leader, quote, "my favorite dictator." And for him, there's a lot of competition for that title. But U.S. investigators didn't ever prove that the money from Egypt, that cash from that Egyptian bank, went to Trump. To prove or disprove that, they would need access to more of Trump's financial records. But they would never get that access. And that is its own scandal. Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis reporting that Trump's Attorney General Bill Barr stepped in to make sure that FBI agents wouldn't be allowed to subpoena Trump's financial records. He also then removed the U.S. attorney who was overseeing the investigation. And then he removed her replacement as well, until he finally got a U.S. attorney in that jurisdiction who would shut down the investigation entirely. Now, what investigators thought might have gone down here, an illegal $10 million cash payment to a presidential campaign from a foreign dictator. I mean, if that were ever proven, that would be one of the biggest presidential scandals in American history, if not the biggest. That said, it hasn't been proven. And Donald Trump has denied it. The reason it hasn't been proven is because nobody was allowed to look at the evidence that would prove it or disprove it. Thank you, Bill Barr. Thank you, U.S. Justice Department, for never apparently looking into any of the things that Bill Barr did as Attorney General to bring grave shame and discredit upon the U.S. Justice Department. That's a story for another day. I will say, though, Trump is denying the implications of this reporting and this investigation. He could easily disprove the claims here himself by simply allowing his banks to release his financial records to show that he has nothing to hide because he had nothing to do with this. In a hard-fought presidential campaign, you might think that would become a political pressure point for Donald Trump. I mean, if you're going to tell people they need to release their long-form birth certificates, seems like maybe you ought to release your bank records, especially when you're credibly accused of potentially taking a $10 million cash bribe from your favorite dictator.
Again, I believe Donald Trump knew that Elon Musk was hinting at him. And that's why Trump nervously bit his lip. Elon Musk is probably holding all kinds of stuff over Donald Trump's head.